When I'm channeling beings of light, there's this through line that you might have realized if you've been watching all of my videos, where they talk about embracing who you are unconditionally and how we come here to experience who we are with no other expectations other than that. And ultimately, it doesn't matter what we do with it. What matters is the experience of going through it. And yet, inside of the spiritual space, there's a lot of talk about needing to identify your purpose. Because when you identify your purpose, then you're on your highest timeline. And when you're on your highest timeline, you're in alignment. And when you're in alignment, you are ascending. And when you're ascending, you're encompassing this role as light worker, and you're having this big impact, and you're showing up in a way that you are meant to, you're supposed to. Think positive thoughts, because if you don't think positive thoughts, then you can't manifest what you want. And if you can't manifest what you want, then you're not in your highest timeline and you're not vibrating at the highest possible frequency. And it's like there's this underlying pressure to show up in a specific way, because if you can't, then you're not living up to this ideal version of you that you could be if you could do those things properly. I grew up never feeling good inside of who I was and always feeling like I had to prove myself and never feeling worthy of anything big. And when I entered inside of the spiritual space, I felt that pain point being pressed on. Even though the language felt really beautiful, there was still this underlying need to be better than. You're never going to feel good inside of who you are unless you give yourself permission to do so now. Always going to feel like you're chasing something, and you're always going to be left feeling unsatisfied. If you're tired of the spiritual talk, and if you're feeling pressure to show up in your life in a way that doesn't feel good anymore, head to my website, amandalaurenblau.com. You'll see join my community there. We launch May 2024. You can enter your email address to be kept up to date for when we go live. Learning how to be with you in a way that allows you to soften and fully open up to all of these versions of you that you've been subtly running from. You might finally begin to understand what it feels like to feel love unconditionally. And from that place, you become limitless.